If you aren't seeing results with your fitness program, it's almost certainly not because you're not working hard enough. Most of our clients, when they start our program, they sign up not because they haven't been working hard, but because what they've been working hard at, oftentimes they're working very hard at it, is not getting them the results that they want. And this is why you need to understand the difference between training and exercise. Most people are exercising, not training, and that's why they're not getting the results that they want. So first, let's define both of these. Exercise is any movement, any activity where you're intentionally moving your body in a way to stimulate, get your heart rate up or stimulate the muscles. Training is any type of exercise done, set up specifically for a specific outcome. So it's what I would say exercise with a purpose. Now, to be clear, I'm not hating on exercise. Exercise is very beneficial, and compared to doing nothing, being totally sedentary, exercise is highly beneficial. However, if you're going to exercise and you want better results, you might as well be training. So the problem with exercise is while it might get you results, it's a bit random because you're only focusing on having a good workout today. And if you ask somebody who just exercises and doesn't train, well, how do you know if you had a good workout? Well, they're probably going to tell you I'm sweaty, sore, or tired. Or if they're really crazy, they feel nauseous or puked that day. And it makes sense because you're grabbing on to the immediate feedback that you're getting. And that feedback comes up during the workout or within the next 24 to 48 hours if we're talking about soreness. But that's not a good gauge of whether you had a good workout long term or not. What matters is, are you progressively moving in the direction that you want to move in terms of the results you're after? Are you getting results? Bottom line, are you getting stronger? Are you building muscle? Whatever the goal is, okay? And now this training concept can also be applied to cardio, but because we primarily focus on strength training at Steel Strength Training, that's what we're going to talk about is strength training. Now, the tricky thing is, a lot of places will tell you that they offer strength training when in reality, they're not strength training, they're just using weights. It's just exercise that uses weights, and that's it. And again, all of this is beneficial. If you just like to exercise, and you're happy with the results, then don't change anything. But if you want to get better results, stop just exercising and start training. So with training, every single part of your workout program is set up in a way to get you results. And the goal is not to just work harder. Like most of our clients, especially those who have come from group fitness classes, boot camps, CrossFit, things like that, we're working very hard. Most of them work way harder in those workouts than they do with our program, yet we're able to get them better results. Why? Because hard work alone doesn't get you great results. If that was the case, way more people would be in shape. What you need is hard work at the right things in the right dose. And when you're doing the right things and working hard at them, you're often surprised at how relatively little work you need, especially compared to the backbreaking work you've been trying to do in the gym at these other programs. So I would equate it to if these other programs are like trying to cut down a tree with just a regular saw, or worse, a butter knife. We're handing you a chainsaw with a training program. We're giving you something that's just going to work a lot more efficiently. You still have to do the work, but it's going to be a much faster, safer, more effective process. So a few things to get you started with strength training. Number one, the goal is not being sweaty, sore, and tired. Sometimes those happen, sometimes they don't. Those are just byproducts of your workout, okay? We're not chasing any of those things. Rather, we're chasing strength. Are we getting stronger? Because we know for a fact if we get you stronger, that everything else is going to improve. So what are some things that you can do? Number one, you want to choose about a dozen or so exercises that allow you to train all the major muscle groups in your body and to train them hard, pain-free. We want to make sure that you're training hard, pain-free, okay? Next, you want to set up your program in a way that you can hit each major muscle group at least once, but ideally twice per week. 1.5 times per week works as well. And you can do this with a full body. You're doing the full body every time you work out, or alternating between upper body and lower body workouts. There are other options as well, but those are my two favorite. You want to work out anywhere from 2 to 4 days a week, but for the vast majority of people, like 95% plus of our clients, just do 2 to 3 days per week. 2 days a week is very effective. 3 days a week is substantially more effective. 4 days a week and beyond will get you better results, but we're talking marginal improvements at this point. Again, if you're just an everyday man or woman and you want to look great, feel great, perform well, and be healthy, 2 to 3 days a week is plenty. You can see really great results with just 2 to 3 days a week. Expect those workouts to last roughly 45 minutes. You want to rest roughly 2 to 3 minutes between your sets. You want to do 2 to 3 sets per muscle group per workout. And again, you're hitting those muscles ideally twice per week, at a minimum once per week though. And then you want to use good form and a full range of motion on every rep that you do. And you want to take those sets within 1 rep shy of failure, meaning you could get 1 more rep if you absolutely had to. You could grind it out. It'd be ugly, but you could get it done. Stop right before that rep, that last rep. Leave it in reserve, 1 rep in reserve. That's it. Okay. And then typically we recommend training in the 4 to 10 rep range. I talk more about that in other videos and blogs. But that's it. If you start there and then over time, if you're hitting all those things, over time, you'll find that you are able to do more weight and or reps. That's called progressive overload. You're progressively overloading the muscle. You're getting stronger. And when you get stronger, everything else gets better. You see, progressive overload happens even in exercise programs. However, it happens as a byproduct. Like you exercise, you might even exercise hard, and then over time, you find you're able to go up in weight. And that works for a while. But you will get stronger faster when you make the results the goal. Like, see, this is all very unspoken. Most people probably have never even heard of this concept before, but most people, they go into a workout and they're just trying to work hard or feel something, okay? Yeah, you should work hard, and yeah, you're going to feel the muscle working, but if you want the best results, you need to make the results the goal, not how you feel and not your effort, okay? And if you're orienting for results, then you're going to see faster progress, way faster progress. And the thing is with just exercising, pretty much everybody hits a wall at some point where what they're doing currently, they get some pretty good results and they're closer to their goal, their end goal than they were before, but they don't quite make it all the way. I see this all the time. And at some point, you're going to have to either accept that this is as far as you're going to go with your exercise program, or you need to get more serious, more intentional, more focused about your workouts, and you need to switch to training. Again, I'm not telling you to train harder. In most cases, you're not actually training as hard because the goal is to create a stimulus that makes your body want to change, and then give your body plenty of time to rest and recover so you're not overdoing it. So it's striking that balance there. With most exercise programs, people are just going all out every workout until they can't anymore. And so the other fun fact is training takes up just as much or even less time than just random exercise does. So unless you just really love what you're doing and you're really happy with your results with your exercise program, you should just make the switch to training.